This is Neil the Crazy Inventor again with another edition of You're Amazing and I'll Prove It. I've been doing a series now that is God or Science Proves God Exists. And, why is that important? Um, well, as an inventor, I see the world in a certain way, and because I see the world that way, I have a lot of questions that perhaps other people don't ask, or many people don't ask. And one of the questions I've always asked myself ever since I was a very young boy was, why are we fighting over whose God is the greatest God, and literally killing ourselves for it? When we were a kid, it was just a feeling inside. We couldn't even uh, scientifically prove anything out, and tell ourselves what the heck is going on here. So as time has gone on and science has proven through string theory and through the space program and through a program that, depending on what year you want to use, we'll call it Stargate because they change the name all the time. The Stargate program that the military ran, we're finding out that we all have the same God. And because we have the same God, I still am asking myself, well, but we all believe in different things. Some people believe in Jesus, and I was raised Christian, so I certainly do. Some people believe in Muhammad. Some people believe in Buddha. Some people believe in the Indians, which I'm a very spiritual person, and my spirituality, much of it lies in the the Native Americans, the Indians here, and what they believed in the spirit world and how the spirit world interacts with our world. And then we go out and say, no, my way is the right way, and if you don't view God in my way, then I'm going to kill you, or vice versa. They're going to kill us. And so I'm looking at this science, and looking at the ancient religions and comparing them to them, and trying to find a way that I can tell, or I can show you that essentially, if we have just a few things in common, and we do, ancient religions, all of them, or virtually all of them, I would say all of them that preach goodness is the way to the light, they are telling us the exact same thing, whether you go through Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or the spirit world or any of the other ones. But I couldn't really explain that, and so I told you about a book that I wrote that I read a number of years ago when my first wife passed away, and there was an influence by another dimension who had me get a hold of my brother. And you can look back at the videos that I've made on this, and you can find out how there was no way that I could get a hold of my brother, and yet something wanted me to get a hold of my brother at this very difficult time of my life when my wife was dying, and told me about a book called Psychic Warrior. And I'll hold that up. And Psychic Warrior was written by David Morehouse. And David Morehouse was one of the best trained remote viewers that the military ever had. And he wrote this book because he felt that the ability of science to teach him how to hone his ability to have an out of body experience when he wanted to, and then to go in that spirit form to whatever time he wanted to, whatever location he wanted to, and he could view what was going on there and accurately come back and tell people what was going on there. Well, this here is there is an enormous amount of spirituality in this book, and that's why he went ahead and he wrote this book, even though the military didn't want him to write the book, because nobody wanted him to, the military doesn't want anybody to know that this program was going on, and still is. I mean, they'll tell you that they did away with it after they were found out about, but there's not even a chance that they did away with it. They changed the name. In fact, you can go in and find all different names that they've already changed it to, and they just keep changing it and move the location and move on. But that's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is that I read another book that was also brought to me the same way as the spirit world had brought me Psychic Warrior, and that is Mind Trek. And Mind Trek was written by Joseph McMonagle, and McMonagle was the first military remote viewer. He wasn't the first remote viewer. They were testing this stuff in laboratories, in colleges and universities, and private laboratories and stuff, and scientifically studying how, yes, they actually do leave their bodies, and they actually do enter into another dimension. And the thing that when I read McMonagle's book, much of it is a how-to book, and it's also a philosophical book, which gets to be really heavy and not a lot of fun to read. But there's other parts that are really, really valuable. And this brings us to the point of this particular video at this particular time in our world's history, with the pandemic going on. In fact, my lady, if she'll write a note down to me, I'll pick this up in 2 seconds. So right now, we're all in this together. It doesn't matter if we are on either one of these. It makes absolutely no difference, because my life has taught me. My wife and I have a house cleaning business, and we're in people's homes that are on both sides of this fence, and they are good people. So they want goodness and good things to happen to other people. They truly believe that the way that they're believing is the way to go. And my question as an inventor is, all right, well, if that's the case, if we're all pulling in the right direction, and even if we believe that direction to be slightly different, we're all pulling for goodness to win. How can we go about getting goodness to win? And how can we go about joining with each other and helping goodness to win? And so when I read McMonagle's book, the interesting thing about him is that he decided that he was going to research what they were doing scientifically with the remote viewing. He was going to personally research it on an individual basis and go out and meet with people who said that they were psychics, and that they had the ability, like the remote viewers, to tap into a different dimension and get information and get help and help shape the world that we're in right today. Well, when he went, and remember, I was telling you how can we all join together, and I've been looking for that as a inventor. I've been looking for the answer to that, knowing that we're all good, and how can we join together. So when I read McMonagle's book, and he started to research other, and the word is psychic, even though it's kind of a bad word these days, but that's the word that he used, these other people who called themselves psychics. And when he went in, he said that he didn't buy into the fact that, you know, a psychic would bring out a crystal ball, or a psychic would bring out tea leaves, or tarot cards, or anything like that. And what he realized after working with these people or watching these people work is that the power wasn't necessarily in the crystal ball. It wasn't necessarily in the tea leaves. It wasn't necessarily in the tarot cards. But the person themselves believed that's where the power was in order for them to contact a different dimension. And just because they believed that's where the power lies, then that's where the power did lie. And string theory does tell us that, is that if you believe in something strong enough, you can make it happen. And so what turns out is that that means that all the major religions and many of the smaller religions, they all preach the same thing. They all preach that goodness pays, treat other people with respect, and they'll treat you with respect. And I understand that, you know, there's people out there that don't return the respect, and that's when you say, God bless you, or, you know, whatever word you want to use. And you say, I wish you well, and you move on, because by wishing them bad, you're just holding yourself down. You're not holding them down. And so just treat everybody well and move on. So the major religions tell us that your belief system in order to how to contact the other dimensions is exactly true. If you believe that Christianity is the way to go, then for you that is the way to go. If you believe that being a Muslim is the way to go, then that is your way to contact your higher power and another dimension and help you shape this world. The same with Judaism, the same with being a Buddha or anything else, or the American native people, the Indians, and their belief system. So by reading this book, I realized that we're actually, as a people throughout the entire world, so close to having the same message for everybody else, that all we have to do is accept the fact that everybody has a different way of reaching that dimension. And as long as we're all pulling in the same direction, we're gonna be okay. So I've been trying to figure out how we can get past a few things. And, you know, I mean, you know, some people are calling for conflict in the streets and things like this, and I'm like, man, I just, as an inventor, I can run that scenario, and that scenario just, that ain't gonna work. I just know it's not gonna work. So I do not know what will work. I do not have all the answers, not even close to all the answers, but I do know, my life has taught me, that goodness pays. Yeah, it'll seem like evil is winning. It'll seem like evil is winning all over the place. My first 11 years, I was taught that I was useless and nothing. And within about a 5-month period, one woman changed the entire thing. And so for 11 years, it appeared that evil was winning. And in 5 short months, it was all destroyed, all of it. And so even though it may look like we're losing and we're losing, we've got to understand that goodness will pay. Goodness will win. But only if we pull together as a people of the planet of Earth. And we all realize that there are other dimensions that are trying to help this dimension. We all realize that all of us are contacting the same good dimension to help us here. So whatever your vehicle is for reaching the spirit world, whatever your vehicle is for reaching your higher power, whatever your system is for reaching the infinite energy that is the universe, you pray, you meditate, you do whatever it is that you do to contact these other dimensions, and you beg them to help us save our freedom. Because if we lose the freedom here, I'm going to do a video on things that are going on in other countries. And again, I have to be a little bit vague because of that, and then I'll hold up words and stuff that'll fill it in, and what's going on in their governmental system, and how it's just absolutely destroying the world. I mean, the enormous pollution in some of these countries that are saying that we're the ones that need to change, and we need to be more like them. And so we know that goodness will pay, and you just pray and meditate and bring them in, because we are all the same. And that's exactly what my book, and we're in the process of changing the cover, because it's really not a children's book. And so we're going to change this cover and see if we can bring more people into the fold of goodness pays. Treating other people good will bring goodness back on you, and you will lead a good, fulfilling life. This is Neil the Crazy Inventor, looking like a crazy inventor this morning. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
To learn more about Neil G. Brownell's book, You're Amazing, and I'll Prove It, click on the link below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe to get more You're Amazing videos.
You're amazing, and I'll prove it.